Sure, I could beat him also.
Of the three champions, who would you like to fight and why?
Fight anybody my trainer put me in with, because I'm confident I could beat any fighter in the world.
And that's how you gotta be.
With a ride to the beat with my hopes and my dreams like a boat in the sea, let it ride. From the west to the east, be the best you can be. Let the rest in peace while I try.
What's goody fam? I'm coming back at it with another reaction on ShakaShine Reacts. Today, we're doing a little bit of Mike Tyson, and this is when Tyson inflicted maximum damage on Frazier. Again, I don't even know who Frazier is, so please give me a little bit more of a backstory. Let me know in the comments, and we'll get straight to the reaction.
Do you feel a responsibility not just to win your fights, but also to entertain?
Absolutely. Any fighter in general would think their main objective is to make the audience go home and let them know they had witnessed something that was incredibly special.
That's facts.
Welcome back to the Big Fight Recap. You're on.
All right, let me turn this down just a little bit. The volumes today have been crazy, so all right.
The LTV Classic.
If he doesn't die, it doesn't count. If he's not dead, it doesn't count.
On today's video, we look back at the night a prime ready Iron Mike took on the son of a heavyweight boxing legend.
With my pop in my corner.
So boxing legends. So yeah, I haven't kept up with boxing, not almost at all. So I still have a lot to learn about boxing, and all y'all gotta let me know is who you want me to react to, and I will get to it.
See any way that I can lose.
Something about this occasion made Tyson extremely enraged, exasperated, and eager to close the show as quickly as possible. Let's take a look.
The 30-second massacre? Oh, jeez. Let's go.
By the fall of '86, the Tyson hype train was back to full throttle after his impeccable one-round annihilation job over fellow contender Reggie Gross.
That it's very difficult with a kid who throws hydrogen bombs to get him experience.
Exactly.
At this point, Team Tyson was still matching their prodigy relatively lightly, despite every boxing fan, including Mike himself, convinced he had the tools to mix it up with the current champions in the heavyweight division.
I'm starting to think that you're unstoppable. Do you feel that you're the best heavyweight in the world, that you can step in with anybody right now?
I feel I am the best fighter in the world right now.
Watch.
And hey, he has something to prove, and he was working hard to prove it. Let's go.
A fighter as brilliant as Mike Tyson being steered away from a title shot was frustrating for the boxing community. Yet, in retrospect, his managers, Jim Jacobs and Bill Caton, were not only aiding Mike in building an impressive unbeaten record, they were, more importantly, ensuring the development of a raw young talent that, once he secured his title shot, was the complete finished article.
I'm the leader. I look everything over carefully, and then I send him in to do the job.
The former Hall of Fame legendary heavyweight champion Joe Frazier, who famously beat the previously unbeaten Muhammad Ali in 1971's Fight of the Century.
Wait, that Frazier? Wait.
Took an entirely against-the-grain approach as to how a fighter should be developed during his managerial years post-retirement.
I'm not in charge, you know. If they say fight King Kong, I'm ready. All I have to do is get my body in condition and my mind and spirit.
Okay, his son. That I was about to say that didn't even make sense. Okay, the pieces are connecting. This is now I'm even more interested into watching this. Let's go.
And I'm ready.
Smokin' Joe had the attitude, if you're gonna be a journeyman boxer, there's no point in beating around the bush. As the fighters he trained, such as James Shuler, Burt Cooper, and son Marvis, quickly found out once they were under his tutelage.
If I couldn't train these boys or I couldn't live with these boys, I'd be the first guy to get the hell out the way.
Marvis embraced his father's philosophy, where after a very brief amateur career, he began fighting legitimate top contenders inside his first 10 fights as a pro.
Against Sowski as he backs him into the ropes above us. Two lefts and a right hand, all by Marvis Frazier, all score.
Marvis beat Steve Zuski, James Broad, and Joe Buckner in his first few fights. In doing so, he never looked like a world beater. More so, a man determined to at least fill a sliver of his father's boots. Joe pushed his son to the complete deep end in 1983, having Marvis face off with the #1 heavyweight in the world, Larry Holmes, who at the time had a record of 44-0.
Oh, dangerous.
He didn't have him down.
As many experts predicted, the fight was a complete mismatch, and Larry made sure every spectator at ringside, including Marvis's father, knew about it.
Dang, he's just getting him.
Will he get over his first round?
his dad, did not look happy. Joe did not look happy. Period, point blank.
never lost faith in his son, though, pushing him even harder in the direct aftermath, where Marvis regained momentum with impressive wins over Quick Tillis and Bone Crusher Smith. Whether the Fraziers genuinely felt they were ready for Tyson or not, Marvis's ranking among the sanctioning bodies put him in the direct firing line of the most devastating contender in world boxing.
I bet.
Entering the ring, the local favorite.
That would be absolutely terrifying. Getting in the ring with Mike Tyson. Like, oh my gosh. Especially doing anywhere near his peak. Like, even now, I would still be terrified to get in a boxing ring with Mike Tyson. So let alone when he's at his peak. Like,
Trains and lives in Catskill, New York. Mike Tyson entering as the Warrior.
Tyson met Frazier at the Civic Center in Glens Falls, New York in July 1986. Tyson paced up and down the ring during the introductions, angry and eager to one-up what Holmes did a couple of years prior. He later admitted that he was scared, but wanted to project his fear onto Marvis, who, by the looks of things, had the exact same idea.
yeah.
Judges, the referee does not score, scoring on the round system, supplemental 4-point scoring system if the rounds wind up even, and the 3 knockdown rule is in effect. Tyson comes out slugging.
You can just hear those hits. Like, man, it's just padded bricks getting swung at you. And trust me, just because it's padded doesn't mean that it's saving you much.
Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt. Frazier is down. Joe Cortez moves in to have a look.
Woo, boy.
Uppercut, and Marvis is hurt. Frazier is down. Joe Cortez moves in to have a look.
Got him. Like, woo, let's go. Jeez.
And he's going to stop the fight.
Frazier became Tyson's fastest ever victim, out on his feet, absorbing devastating power punches that left him slumped in the corner inside 30 seconds.
Marvis is badly hurt at this point. Uppercut again, and there Marvis is out on his feet. Everything after this is just incidental.
Yeah.
It took a while for Tyson to calm down, pumped up after his
I would be pumped too, especially if it was his fastest knockout and where he's at too. Now he's 25-0. Like, whew.
paper best win to date. But
Yeah.
once he did, he sent a chilling message to the current champions.
And I came out and I was confident. I came out, I knew the fight. I felt the deep in my heart I was going to stop him in the first round.
In your mind, if your managers Jim Jacobs and Bill Caton and your trainer Kevin Rooney came to you and said, Mike, we think you're ready for a title shot tomorrow, would you agree with them at this point?
Most definitely. Anytime if my manager and my trainer feel that I'm confident and they're willing to put me in a title and they're sure I could beat the champion, I'm sure I could beat them also.
Of the 3 champions, who would you like to fight and why?
Fight anybody my trainer put me in with because I'm confident I could beat any fighter in the world.
And that's how you gotta be.
With only 21 fights to his name, Marvis Frazier hung up the gloves for good, proud of what he achieved in such a short amount of time.
You should. And even just being in the ring to get to that point is you gotta get your credit, man.
I'd personally never blame Joe for Marvis's career trajectory. On paper, it looks naive, but the truth is he had unconditional love for his son, and I think both were just living a bit of a delusion regarding his potential. Marvis has kept a low profile since retirement, but in this interview from a few years ago, he admits that trying to follow in his father's footsteps was always going to be a near impossible task.
I feel to stand in the shadow of Joe Frazier, and to me, I always thought I was standing in the light because it's a great legacy. You know, my father could have been, a drug dealer. He could have been in prison. He could be a bum on the streets on Skid Row. But my dad is smoking Joe Frazier.
Yeah, a legend. All right. Let's get this on a good freeze frame. So, hey, we definitely want to get into more boxing highlights, interviews, because like I said, I know some of the legends, but I was confused because I didn't know Joe Frazier even had a son, especially that boxed. So yeah, we know Muhammad Ali, Frazier, we know Mike Tyson, we know the legends, some of the legends, but I definitely could learn more about all of them, all the ones I just said, plus I'm sure there's more that I would love to watch. So if you know more about boxing, let me know. Some good highlights, some good boxers, and we'll get to those videos ASAP. Either way, man, fighting Mike Tyson would be insane. He just had a drive and determination like no other. And it definitely didn't hurt having bricks for hands. So either way, I'm messing with it. For the people that are waiting on their requests, getting to every single one of you. I told you I put it on the line, on the list. It's on the list and it's coming up. But you can always skip the line by hitting me with the donation. Links right underneath the like button. And I'll make sure I get your reaction out within 72 hours. And I gotta say, thank you.